Hey guys, it's the Marcus Allen Frishman show. We are here live. We've got Marcus Allen Frishman here, and we are pumping live. What's going on, Marcus?
Well, Archie, of course, I have to remind the fabulous crowd that I'm Marcus Allen Frishman and you're not. And here, welcome to my show. Hosted by the world's famous Archie Luxury. Archie, I was thinking, well, before we get into it, let's get warmed up. Before we get into it, that intro of yours that has been the intro, the trademark intro for years, it reminds me of a 1980s show hosted by some guy that was following the rich and famous around. What was that show?
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Yes,
with Robin Lynch. Robin Lynch, wasn't it?
Yes. Did you copy it? Was that your idea from?
No, but go on.
I was it just hit me. I go, I kept thinking for years, what is that? What is that mirror? What is it mimicking? And I thought it was the Robin Leach Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Yeah, and that was an interesting show, wasn't it?
Great show. Loved it. Great.
Yeah, it was very 80s. You couldn't get away with that now. It was just show off. Very show offy sort of show.
Robin Leach was quite a character too. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, no, he was a very much he was a very much, he died in 2018. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he
did some stuff after that. Again, I can't recall what it was, but I had followed him for a while.
Yeah, no, he did. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. It aired from 1984 to 1995. He also hosted Runway with the Rich and Famous and ABC's Fame, Fortune, and Romance.
Right.
He did some things for Madonna.
He did some things for Madonna, the singer?
Yeah, he did a documentary expose, Madonna Exposed, for the Fox network. He had a pretty interesting life. Robin, he had 3 sons. He died in November 2017. He had a stroke on a vacation. He had a stroke, and then he died. He died in August 19. August 2019. 2018, and died at 76. 76 isn't that old, is it?
Well, Archie, I think between, there's a range depending upon where you are living in the world and how much sunlight you get. But I guess I'll be due at 72, and likely you will too. The question is, can we go beyond 72 to 76 and live longer? Or do we want to live longer? Look, I'm ready. I have told my friends I am ready to go now. I've been ready to go. I've been ready for death for about 10 years. Now you might say, well, why? What is that? It's not suicidal, because people that say that are suicidal. So we have to get the right context. I have accomplished so much that I feel I'm done. And I've never really had goals and passions in my life. I have approached things on a day-to-day, week-to-week, year-to-year basis, and I've reacted to opportunities I've had, both personal and business and political. And I'm very comfortable with my God, and I'm ready to go if he took me. I don't want to say I have no reason to live anymore. That would be dramatic. But, I'm a dramatic guy. I overstate my points. But I can't think of a better way of phrasing it, because I don't have a family, right? By choice. It's just I'm speechless because I don't know how to phrase it. I am ready to go and I am done. But I love life. As long as the good Lord will keep me here, I will serve him and serve other people and serve myself and my dog, Mr. Bueller.
We got our first super chat of the night. Black Cat 997, $2. I remember watching that show with my grandfather. Yes, lifestyles are the rich and famous.
The 1980s. I call myself a child of the 80s because I really didn't. While I lived in the 70s, I didn't identify with the 70s. But the 80s, I loved I still incorporate the fashion. I thought it was so classic. The music of the 80s and 90s and some of the 70s.
You like the Pet Shop Boys? Pet Shop Boys?
I love the Pet Shop Boys. Archie, I love the 80s movies were the best. The music is the best. There is nothing about the 80s that isn't better than today, really. I got to tell you. We didn't have cell phones, but that's okay. We had what was called radio phones in LA. If you lived in an upscale family, your family would have a phone in the car phone, and it was operated by a radio. And in Los Angeles, it had 11 channels, despite what was maybe 10 million people living in the greater LA area. You had 11 channels to make calls. But the 80s was just spectacular. I still wear pleated pants. I wear penny loafers. It's what I do. I'm an 80s guy. Archie, I was thinking today, coming on the show, something we could discuss, and we never stay on topic anyway, so it's just something that comes and goes on our 1 hour. But I was thinking we could talk with our viewers and you and I about who we think in present day life is the most beautiful woman in the world.
Oh.
Now, men admire women. Men are visual. Women aren't so much visual.
Yeah.
They want a package. They want several things from a man. But men are purely visual. We judge women very quickly on how they look. And they may earn our love and our attention and admiration later when we learn more about them with other things. But the visual is how God created us. And I always say to women who don't appreciate such comments, if you don't like it, blame God. Don't blame man, because man is all about the visual. We care about what you look like. And if we don't like the way you look, nothing else matters after that in a romantic relationship. Okay, not in other forms of relationships. But I'm not speaking of romance. I'm speaking of pure beauty. We all define beauty differently.
See, I would have to say the biggest influence, if you say who is the most beautiful, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
We're probably influenced by TV or movies.
Oh, sure. I'm going to pick somebody famous. I'm not going to pick my neighbor. There is a neighbor who might be very beautiful, but that's not what we're looking at here. So we're asking who in the world of movies or modeling or fashion or whatever genre they're in, even professionals, politicians, what woman do you think is the most beautiful at any age range? Although we're going to keep it from 18 years old up. Let's not get into that. So adult women, who is the most beautiful woman in the world? I know who I believe is mine, but let's hold that out for a moment. What do you think?
Hey, I think that's a great concept. I'd have to say Maureen McCormack.
As she is now or as she was then?
Forever. Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Maureen McCormack lived in my neighborhood. She was living in Woodland Hills.
And you met her. You met her as well.
Ice skating rink. Yeah, I met her and Susan. Yes. Anyway, she was at
Cindy,
whose real name is Susan. We're talking about the Brady Bunch cast, and Maureen McCormick was gorgeous, and she lived in Woodland Hills. I lived in Calabasas. Both communities are about 10 miles north of Malibu in the greater LA area. Mine, of course, was more of an upscale neighborhood than hers. We met at the ice skating rink, and she was crying, and she was because all the people were bothering her, and she was quite emotional. As we learn back on it, we know she was, on drugs and things. Maureen McCormick. Now, I've seen her in later life. I've seen some current pictures of her. I don't know if you want to put those up, but she is beautiful. Now, there was a birthday of an 80-year-old woman 2 days ago who I could not believe was 80, and she was one of the Charlie's Angels, I think. Yeah, can't remember. Yeah, Maureen McCormick. She was gorgeous. Wow, we all had a crush on Maureen McCormick growing up.
She was born in 56, so she certainly is getting on a bit, but very... The sad thing is with Maureen McCormick, which I later learned there, she had a terrible drug habit for a long time.
Yeah, she did.
And it's kind of sad. I must say it's we got a super chat here. One Up Kicks $2. What is the longest live stream you've done? You know what? I got to be honest with you, One Up Kicks. Sometimes you've always got to leave a little bit for the punters. I find it's better to leave people wanting more. If you give too much, right, you really you get burnout from the audience. You're better off to leave them always wanting for more, so they come back.
But you've done 2 hour regularly. Have you ever done?
No, I think I've done 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, have you done 4 hours?
I've never done, but I don't think that's the best way to go. I think it's better to have a break. You don't want to oversell yourself. You want to. Now, Maureen McCormick. Now, the sad thing is with her. Well, she's been married to the same guy for a long time. She met somebody years ago, and I mean, her career never really. She was always famous. The Brady Bunch was probably the most famous. She also had a singing career. She was actually a country and quite an accomplished country and western singer. I thought she was a very elegant type of lady, very elegant lady. It's one of these things,
what happened to her beauty mark. She had a beauty mark under her eye. I don't see it in some of those photos. Maybe she covers it with makeup now, or maybe a wrinkle or two have.
Yeah, she was very attractive. Very attractive. She had a very nice chin, very nice face. But look, it's one of these things. The saddest thing is that she's been on Dr. Phil. She had some episodes. There was also, she was adopted. I didn't realize that until she was adopted. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Us adopted
and
all these things. She was beautiful. She was always very kind to, really well-centered, despite her drug use, and we don't know what her personal proclivities were. But you know who else?
68 now. Holy shit! Can you believe that?
God
68.
Almighty.
She is 68.
She looks good.
Can you believe that?
68. That is an excellent picture. Now, how about, I've got another one from the 80s. How about...
She's 69 now. Sorry, she's 69 now. Maureen Denise McCormick. She's 69.
Marsha.
Holy shit.
That's a famous line. Marsha.
Yeah. And she had, just looking at her, the role she's had there, she's had a lot of she did some movies. She did quite a lot until 2017. TV shows, Brady Bunch specials. She was on Fantasy Island. Wow, look at
I
that.
saw all those Brady Bunch specials, and she did a show that was quite good. Might have been The Family.
And
Neighborhood.
she had a number of she also had a number of singing things she's done as well there, but it's kind of her singing. She sort of she sort of didn't really. She's done a lot of work with. She's done a lot of volunteer work as well, I believe, and she's yeah. So who do you think the most beautiful woman in the world is? Sorry, let's get back to the
I'm going to hold out on that, but I will tell you. Let's get to that in a moment. But I have another beauty from the '80s, Phoebe Cates, who continued to look good as she aged. And I met her once. I was sitting at a burrito restaurant in San Diego on break from my job with the California legislature and just having lunch. And she had shown up at a table across from me, and I was able to have a conversation with her. She was already married. She's been married to
Phoebe
an actor
Cates.
a long time. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And she did the topless scene. That's it right there with the bikini. That is where she takes off the top and walks in slow motion while the other character is peering out of the bathroom window, masturbating, watching her. It was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It was a fabulous movie. We just described, a 30-second moment in that movie. And Phoebe
wow,
Cates,
1982. She was in a number of.
It was in San Diego, California, I believe, still with a gentleman who's an actor or was an actor, and there he is. They have a long time relationship, and she really has held her age well, even though she's letting her hair go gray.
She was friends with Andy Warhol.
Well, she was iconic. I mean, there was no. She was big, Phoebe Cates. It was all about that one movie too. I mean, she had done a lot of things, but let's face it, she could never live that movie or that scene down. It was the '80s, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. They don't make movies like that anymore.
Yes.
It's it was so politically incorrect and.
Yes. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
It was a good one.
Yes.
Phoebe Cates was gorgeous. I had when I was very young, I had a big crush on Cindy, the wife of Billy Joel. Come on, Archie. What's her name? Former wife of Billy Joel, right? The big model. I used to carry a picture of her in my college booklet. I carried it around with me on campus. What was her name?
Christy Brinkley.
Christy Brinkley. Thank you. So Christy Brinkley, at that point, she was older than me, if I reckon my recollection is correct. And
she was gorgeous. Yes,
she was gorgeous. She has a daughter that is gorgeous now, and she still is gorgeous.
Yes,
she had very late in life, and she was probably the most well-known professional model in the world. And of course, that song's about her.
Which song's that?
One of the Billy Joel songs.
Oh, okay, yes. Uptown Girl.
Uptown Girl, thank you. Archie, you fill in the blanks for me. Thanks so much. Uptown Girl. It's a wonderful song. And
wow, all right, that's amazing stuff.
I believe right now, Olivia Rodrigo is the most beautiful woman in the world, in my opinion. At any age
Okay.
point, at any age range of any woman, I believe she's
Olivia, what's her name?
Olivia Rodrigo. She's a singer.
Oh, I see. Latin singer. Yes. Brazilian sort of singer. I've never heard of her, to be honest with you, but cool. Yep. Yep.
She sings pretty well. She can get 40,000 people into a concert. She has a niche. That's why you haven't heard of her, like Taylor Swift or what have you. She has
Oh,
a
no.
niche,
Yeah.
but she sings really well, and she's doing some. She's mimicking some famous songs that are all old hits, and I believe she's absolutely gorgeous. And she's part of when you look at a woman, that's one thing. But I am a metrosexual, so I go deeper than just their visual, unlike most men. She is a truly classy woman. She's a smart woman. She has characteristics that are God-based, and she just has a nice balance in her that makes her even more beautiful beyond her physical being. And it's a matter of taste. I like that Latin Filipino look as a preference, but certainly it's not mandatory. Women of all races.
No. Let me get one more for you. Can I show you one more? I particularly liked, right, growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, Shannon Doherty. Shannon Doherty was another. I thought she was gorgeous in Beverly Hills 90210.
Yes, she did not age well. Fair enough. Have you seen the current pictures of her? With all due respect,
she died of cancer. She died of cancer.
Yeah, I know. She lived in Calabasas, by the way, my hometown. But she, that cancer. I don't know the history. Maybe that's what did the final. She really gained a lot of weight and really looked terrible.
Yeah. Well, hey, what can you do? I mean,
I guess the cancer does that to you. My mother looked terrible with cancer. And I loved my mother, and she was once a beautiful woman, but cancer does that to you.
She died at 53. Fuck, that's so young. I'm 53 now. And she I thought she was very impressive. Yeah, she was a year older than me. That's right. 1971. I'm 72. And the funny thing is, the funny thing is that TV show Beverly Hills 90210. The funny thing is, Aaron Spelling's daughter. She was in that show as well. I thought she was quite pretty.
Aaron Spelling's daughter. Now, I used to go to a restaurant called Trader Vic's. If you looked it up, it is quite historic. It may have closed 10 or 15 years ago in Beverly Hills. It was in the Beverly Hilton Hotel, and it's called Trader Vic's. And she and Supervisor Ed Edelman's daughter, LA County Supervisor Ed Edelman's daughter, I had a crush on Ed Edelman's daughter, both would go to the Trader Vic's.
Tori Spelling, that's it. Tori. She hasn't aged well, but she was much prettier. That was her. I thought she was quite attractive. I would have, but her life, she had so much privilege and so much opportunity. Her dad, Aaron, was one of the greatest. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
He did Gilligan's Island, and I think he did the Brady Bunch, actually. I think he was responsible for the Brady Bunch. Just hang on one second.
I think he was, Archie. She used to go to dinner there with Supervisor Edelman's daughter, and my best friend Travis and I would go to dinner Thursday night at the Trader Vic's restaurant.
Yes.
it was like a $250 meal in the 80s for Travis and I.
Fuck, expensive.
Yeah, it was a nice place. We went there once a week. Trader Vic's, what a fabulous restaurant. And she would hang out there much more frequently than I.
Who's that? Aaron Spelling?
Tori Spelling, and she'd come with LA County Supervisor. It's an elected person's daughter, Emily Edelman. I had a crush on Emily Edelman. That was in the 80s. That would have been the late 80s.
So what the hell went wrong with her then? What the hell went wrong? They spent far too much. She, like her dad, Aaron, I think her mum put her out of the will. They've had a very tumultuous life. She was married a couple times. It's just a total disaster. Then I heard she was living in a trailer. That was her husband, divorced from Dean McDermott.
That would be hard to believe. They had the largest home in California.
That's correct.
The home sold for about $80 million. Now, I know several homes in California at the $180 million range. One of my friends actually sold one, but in the same neighborhood, but Homey Hills. But that home was particularly iconic because it was so massive. Massive on a ate up all.
Went wrong?
What was that?
What went wrong? What went wrong in their life? It's just such a how can something go so bad in life?
Well, I don't know. We don't know enough about it, but it's funny how money creates bad stuff. When there are people that die and then there's money, death and money to combine creates terrible situations, all sorts of them that come alive. I know because I've encountered death and money twice in my life. And in both occasions, I walked away from the battle. Of course, when you walk away penniless in that transaction, but sometimes it's better to walk away.
Yes.
Maybe that's what she did. I don't know her circumstance.
We got another super chat here from Black Cat 997, $5. At my age, Amanda Seyfried was awesome. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know who that is. I looked it up and I still don't know who she is.
Oh yeah, she's very sexy.
Yeah, she is, but I've
seen her. I've seen her in stuff. What has she been in? Let's go and have a look. She's 39, so she's still very beautiful. Oh, it doesn't say. It doesn't say what she's in. I've seen her in stuff. Yes. Did you ever go? You went to school. Did you go to school with any celebrities? You must have in your area where you live.
I must have, but let me think real quick. If there were any celebrities I hung with as a result of school. No, I don't think there were. Whether they went to my school or not would have been irrelevant because I went to USC, and USC is in the midst of a ghetto-like area in Los Angeles, where UCLA is in the posh neighborhood next to the Playboy Mansion and next to all these movie star locations. So we would always leave campus and go to events and gatherings and bars and dinner houses and restaurants. And so when I met people like that, it was not at the university itself.
Let me tell you, I went to school. This is a bit of a celebrity. I went to school with Jacinta Barrett. Her husband is the Harvey in Suits, the very famous TV show Suits. She's married to Harvey from Suits. And I went to school with her. She was nice enough girl, nice enough person, nice enough lady, I should say. When I knew her, she was only 16, 17. But yeah, there you go. Jacinta Barrett. She had starred in a few good movies. She's had some good leads. She's had some good roles, I must say. And yeah, quite interesting indeed. So
yeah, I'm looking at the top females from the 80s. There was just so many wonderful, beautiful women back then. I mean, we're talking about Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields, yes, Brooke Shields.
Lives in New
She
York.
did that. She did that sexy movie, didn't she?
Yeah, she did Blue Lagoon. But did you ever see the video one of your competitors did with her on her watch collection?
No, I didn't. I
In her
didn't.
New York apartment, one of the top watch people on YouTube went to interview her, and they sat in her kitchen and talked about she may have a half dozen watches.
Yes.
And they talked about her watches. It's on YouTube, and it's quite recent in relative to her lifespan anyway.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
There is another most beautiful actress singer of the 1980s who is still performing in streaming shows and so forth. And I'm having trouble remembering her name. I will in a minute. She had a hit, and she looks great. She seems not to be aging at all, but I can't remember her name, which is a part of my usual memory lapse.
Did you ever want to be famous, Marcus? You are quite a famous person. Did you ever want?
I'm famous in my head, but let me tell you this. I told you that there was an opportunity for me to be famous as an ice skater. I explained that story. National Federation of Figure Skaters offered me a contract to make me an Olympian because I was performing on ice and doing some things that the Olympian herself could not do. And I turned it down. My father was approached by Paramount Studios with a contract for a movie and a parking spot, my father would remind me, and the studio in Los Angeles. And back then they created movie stars. They would pick someone and just create them. And you can go back to any of the contemporaries who are our age and younger, and they'll tell you that's how it started with them. I kicked and screamed to get out of my father signing that contract on my behalf. So, I guess I didn't want to be famous. By choice, I am not famous.
But mind you, you know something. I got to tell you something, Marcus. If you actually look at child celebrities or people who were famous early on, the honest truth is a lot of them have turned out to have terrible lives.
Yes. Why is that?
I think it actually, there's quite an interesting thing. There was an actor in Australia who played he was in a soap opera, Dieter Brunner, and you've never heard of him, but Dieter Brunner was in Home and Away, which is an Australian soap opera, and he ended up committing suicide. And I think the problem is, let me explain to you what the problem is. The problem is when you are that sort of famous. This is him here. He was a heartthrob, Australian heartthrob, okay? And very good looking guy. He had a so he himself, what happened to him was, okay, let's take a sticky beak. So he died at 45, okay? And what happened was, so he very early he had a a big hit on a TV show in Australia, and then after that TV show, he was an A-grade celebrity. He couldn't really get much work. Australia is not a huge movie. We're not like Hollywood, okay? And what kind of happened is that he kind of, from being at the top of the tree, this is the unfair thing. He was so famous and so successful. Then, so you're earning big money, and obviously you earn big money, they spend big money.
Right.
And then the roles dry up, and you're still famous and popular. And then he ended up getting a job as a window cleaner. Like he liked abseiling, and he got which nothing wrong with that, but he made the comment that once you've been really famous, if you're serving beers in a bar, people laugh at you. Oh, look, that's Shane from such and such.
Right.
Look, he's now like, people kind of laugh at you. You know what I'm saying? Like and I mean, to be honest with you, you should never be ashamed of having a job. Doesn't matter what sort of job it is. And he ended up committing suicide. So it's one of these things. What happens is, fame is such a fickle thing.
What about Reese Witherspoon? She's beautiful. She's streaming on some show right now, but she was that beautiful girl in the what was the name of that movie? She was always wearing pink, and she was becoming a lawyer. She was at college.
That's right. Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde. Thank you, Archie. Reese Witherspoon, and she's doing something currently, and she looks pretty good. I understand she lives somewhere in a high-rise on Wilshire Boulevard, and she helps dogs and animals in Los Angeles.
And she had a Porsche Boxster in Legally Blonde too. I don't know if you noticed that.
Right. I remember now that you mentioned it.
Yes. It they're a nice. I like the Boxster, actually. I thought they were a good car.
I had the Boxster Anniversary Edition, 164, whatever the year was that they were anniversarying, made in the world. Less than 2,000 of them. I kept it longer than I have ever kept any Porsche. I bought it new. It was quite expensive. It was really a 911 in a boxer body is what it was. It had the 911 color, silver. It had the brown chocolate interior, and I kept it 6 years. I drove it 120,000 miles. I never had a repair on it. It was so reliable. But back to the beautiful women.
How long would you normally keep a car for?
Oh, 4 years typically.
Why is that? Because that's reliable.
I kept a car until the 4 or 5 years, till the warranty expired. There were at least 2 Porsches I've only kept 2 years. I didn't always have a Porsche. The warranty present company accepted. Putting aside my present Porsche, when a warranty expired, because I always bought a car brand new or with less than 15, 20,000 miles on it with a certified warranty. You don't want to be driving around a Porsche without a warranty. I am in a Porsche without a warranty because I bought the iconic 911, and I wanted to buy the last naturally aspirated 6-cylinder. Porsche is no longer making a naturally aspirated 6-cylinder in any model. So my car will be skyrocketing in price, and that's when I intend to sell it. It was bought new at $135,000, and it is still holding its value somewhere between 75 and 85, depending upon its condition. And my condition is like new.
So ideally, you should keep a car 4 to 5 years is max. Is that right?
Well, if it's an expensive repair car. Otherwise,
is a BMW expensive repair car?
No. I had 4 BMWs, notwithstanding the one that didn't belong to me, so that would have been 6. But I bought 4 BMWs, and I usually leased them and then converted it to a loan and then sold them. And the reason I did a lease first is because I had a tax reason. It was business related, and then I think I would do a 7-year lease. Then I would convert it to a loan within 2 to 3 years. It would all save me money. And then I would sell it.
You sold it privately or to a dealer?
Always traded them in. I've only sold privately once, and that was a Porsche. I've always traded in my cars just because of simplicity. You know, when you have money to burn, when you're generating a lot of income, you don't worry about these peddly little details. But when you've earned your money and you've saved it and you've matured, you start to think of, well, you know what? I should sell this on my own. And that's what I did with my last Porsche before the one that was totaled. So 2 Porsches ago. Yeah, I sold it on my own, and it was so easy to sell. And it got me $22,000 above the trade-in price at a Porsche dealer.
Wow.
Yeah. A great little story on that. If ever we talk about it in depth, there's always something unusual in my life, but there was an unusual component to that sale, and it makes for a great story when we talk cars sometime.
Chief Tit, $2. Bridget Bordeaux when young, and Eva Menendez now. I don't even know.
Oh, Eva. Yeah, Eva Menendez. Bring her up, Archie. Let's see Eva.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she is beautiful.
Eva's beautiful. Eva was beautiful then and beautiful now. Yeah, what happened to her? She faded to black.
I'm more interested in the Porsche story. Can we get the Porsche story out of you? What Porsche was it? Firstly, Porsche 911.
So you'll like this story. So
give me a yeah. Can you give me a yeah?
I'm gonna bear with me. So my the last one was the okay. So it was a I hope I'm getting this right. It was a red 2016 Cayman. And I was trading it in. And I was trading
it was a Cayman.
Yeah. And I was trading it in for a red 2019 Cayman. I hope I'm getting the years right. But the point is, they looked identical. In fact, I have a picture. I wish I could bring it up right now, but I'm not as quick as you. I have a picture of both cars sitting at the Woodland Hills Porsche dealer. It's a suburb of Los Angeles. And I took a picture of them and put it on my Facebook. And I said, my new car is on the left. My old car is on the right, or vice versa. And I've just done my purchase today. And I put it up, and boy, it created havoc because they were identical, except one had a warranty and one did not. And I believe in the end, there was maybe a 20. It was the most I've ever, probably under $25,000 out of my pocket. Let me just put it that way. So here's how this goes. I go into the Woodland Hills Porsche dealer to see good old Myron. And Myron's an old timer there. And it used to be called Ogner, Porsche, and Audi. And I went to school with Melissa Ogner. I can't say I dated her, but it was sold as Ogner, Porsche, and Audi. It was sold to someone else, and it was always a Porsche dealer. So it's now Woodland Hills Porsche. And I go in there a few years ago, and I find good old Myron, because I have seen him 5 times. This would be my 5th Porsche. 5th. sixth, yeah, fifth Porsche or sixth Porsche. I'm losing track of the numbers, but whatever. I went into Myron and I said, Myron, do you remember me? And he said, you look familiar. I said, I'm Marcus Allen Frishman, and I have been here 5 times to buy a Porsche from you, and you have never sold me one. And I come here before I come to any other Porsche dealer because you're the one near my house. He said, well, we're going to make a deal today. And I said, well, we're going to try. There is a Porsche, as always. There's a Porsche in your lot I'm interested in. And we looked at it and talked about it. He said, you want to drive it? I don't want to drive it. If I don't like it, I'll return it within 3 days under California law. You just have to make the deal. Let's talk about the money. So we sat down and we worked out the money. And he was giving me something off the Porsche because he really wanted to do this deal. He didn't like that open because I would have walked away now buying the 6th Porsche or whatever it was without buying it from him. So he did the deal and the price was right and it was the right car. And unlike most of my car searches that take 3 to 9 months, this one I did instantly. I showed up, I saw the car, it was red, and I want it. He did wonder why I wanted to exchange the car and spend money on, on the same car essentially. And I said, I need a car on warranty and newer. I just want to do it. Okay. So he didn't fight with me. But here's the thing that he did not give me high wholesale on my trade-in. And you got to get high wholesale from a dealer. Now you certainly can't expect retail prices from a dealer in a trade-in. It's idiotic. People expect that and they get disappointed. But if you know your pricing, you want high wholesale, they can do it if your car deserves it. Now he wasn't giving it to me. And while he was doing a good price on this almost new vehicle, the one that I was buying, I said, well, Myron, I did put the car on Cars Guru, it's a website, a couple of days ago, and take a look at my offers. And I hold him my phone and I let him see the offers that are coming in because they're texting me the offers. And he said, well, Marcus, I have a proposal. I've never done this. Now, this guy has juice there. He did this without going to the general manager because he's been there well longer than any of the last 3 general managers. And he said, I'm going to let you sell the car on your own. Here's the deal. You have to buy this car today, okay? And I'm going to give you 7 days. I bought it on the 4th of July that year. And I'm going to give you 7 days, which got us to, I believe, a Sunday night, closing 9 o'clock, to bring your customer here to pick up the car and pay you. And I will give him the pink slip because you're going to give me the pink slip. I'm going to hold the car and the pink slip and one of the 2 sets of keys. And between now and the 7 days, you can show the car. He had one rule. I couldn't bring people on the property. I had permission to take the car off the property and go to the supermarket, the Whole Foods next door. And my customers would come and view the car. I had so many people offering me significantly above his trade-in price that I set up various appointments. I picked 3 of the best, one from up north. One was going to come after work, and then one was buying it for his son from Orange County. And in the end, I sold it to the gentleman who was buying it for his son in Orange County. I met the gentleman at the car. He loved it. His son loved it. And then they came back the next day. We met at my bank. They gave me certified funds. I held on to the certified funds, leaving the bank, back to the dealership, went in to see Myron and said, Myron, my people are in the waiting room. I've been paid. You have to give them the pink slip now. It's not your car. It's going to be theirs. I sold it for 22 or 23,000, whatever it was, more than your offer. And he said, congratulations, Marcus. I'll get you the pink slip. And then they couldn't find it. They couldn't find the pink slip.
What?
Yeah, because they're not used to saving a pink slip they're not used to saving a car. Luckily they could find my car. But the point is, we had to wait I said, Myron, I'm going to give you 1 hour. If in 1 hour I don't have that pink slip, you're going to pay me what I have lost here because I'll take it to small claims court. I mean, I'll take the difference. You don't want that, right? And he said, I'll win this. He said, Marcus, I will pay you what they're paying you. We're going to find that. You have to give me time. Well, they found it within the hour I gave them. And I handed.
Was it getting nasty there? Was it nasty?
No,
or you had
no,
to
it was all very polite. But I'm the kind of guy that can threaten to sue you with a smile, and you leave with a smile, and you work it out. It's my style. So, and I meant it, because my buyer, they would have waited 2 hours. I wasn't going to let them wait 2 hours. So it was about 45 minutes, just under the hour. They found the pink slip, which we need to do the transfer. And we did it right there in the lobby. He allowed me to do it. They went off with their car. I already had my car. I bought it 7 days earlier. We made it to the final day. I believe it was a Sunday night. And we shook hands and I left. I did the deal. I've never seen a dealer offer to let me sell my own car while they keep possession of it. And on a certain day, it triggers to be theirs. They'll process the pink slip after 7 days as their ownership, and I will get the money that they've offered me. So that was the very unusual deal I worked. And he was so happy I finally bought a Porsche from him. And of course, that was the car that was totaled. And then my insurance 2 years later, and then my insurance company 2 years ago bought me the 911.
Wow. Wow. What an amazing story, Marcus.
Which brings us to almost the end of our show.
Marcus, tell me this. With the new Porsches, there's talk they're going to go EV, electric. Would you ever get a Panamera or the Taycan, the electric?
First of all, I would never buy anything but it's unlikely that I would ever own anything but a sports car. But all my life, in fact, this 911 actually has a back seat, which I haven't seen since BMW convertibles, and I had a string of those. I like a convertible. I like two seats, maybe a simple back seat.
So your Porsche is a cabriolet, or
it is a cabriolet, yeah.
And tell me this, with your Porsche that you've got now, would you after this Porsche here, you would not go electric. You want a gasoline engine.
I do envision selling this car. This car turns out to be an investment, and because it's most desirable if you look it up and all of the details related to that particular span of cars.
You didn't get a stick butt, did you? You didn't get a manual, did you?
I didn't get.
You got a PDK.
I will tell you this: every car I've had since high school has been a stick until my last 3 of my 6 Porsches.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've always had a stick. I really had to be talked into by Porsche, the PDK, because it turns out a Porsche PDK is actually 2 real clutches. It is
a dual clutch.
It's a real automatic car that is electronically designed to shift. It isn't one of these Buicks with the shifting pads, right? So it really does have clutches. It's just I had to get used to it not needing me to push a clutch down. It does the push of the clutch itself, which is interesting. Totally misunderstood technology. But anyway, to answer your question, I don't envision I would ever own an electric vehicle in my lifetime. I could be interested in a hybrid, and it would have to be the sports car models. I am thinking of a second car, and that would be the Porsche Macan. I've had my eye on it. I almost bought one because now that my BMW convertible is inoperative, and I will probably sell it. I will.
Well, why is it inoperative? What happened to that?
I blew the engine. It overheated, obviously, I pulled over immediately. You know, I know not to drive a car that's overheating, but I think the thermostat didn't catch it quick enough. It was heating before I knew it, and the engine has blown. And it's the second engine I put in that car. That's a 1997 318 IC convertible. It is also like new. I bought it new, and it's the only car I've never sold after I bought it in my life. And I have a soft spot for it, but looks like it's about to go. It's in the garage. I'm going to sell it to a collector, I think. I'm talking to him right now. But
how much is he
it's
looking
not big
at
money. It's not big money. We're talking, I think it's worth a lot of money to me, but it's worth about $4,000.
Yeah, I understand.
I owned the 1991 BMW, which is now selling between $15,000 and $25,000. Because that one turned out to be the collector model. Mine,
that's the E30. That's the E30,
right.
I believe it's called. I owned it. By the way, I owned an E30.
The big box. Yeah.
The boxy one. Yeah.
Who would have known that would have been a more desirable car? Probably because that's when they did the major body change. And the 1997 BMW looks very much like the current BMW 3 Series. The body design hasn't changed much, believe it or not, in all these years. Whereas between before 1997, I think 96.
You know what you should check out, by the way, is the BMW 240i, the BMW M2. That's kind of like where the 3 Series used to be. Because what's happened is, did you know a 3 Series of today is bigger than a 5 Series from year 2000?
Yeah, I saw
They've all put on weight. You know, they're like, they add weight.
Everything's gotten bigger. Everything's big. I like small.
Yeah.
So no, I would not get an electric car. I would love to have a hybrid. And the problem is when they do these electric vehicles, they make the model a new model. It's the electric vehicle model. And they're not that much integrated. I say, speaking generically across car brands, they're not just taking one of their known existing models and making it an electric car, a hybrid car. And now Porsche is doing that now with the 911. There is I think it just came out, Archie. That's why I don't know much about it. I believe there's a 911 hybrid.
We got a super chat here, Chris.
Crazy expensive.
Chris F, $5. This will be up your belly. Check out Joan Chen. She was in Twin Peaks. Beautiful woman. Let's just have a look. Let's have a look there. Let me be the judge of this. Oh, yeah. Asian lady. Very, very, very nice lady there. Yes, I could. That seems very lovely. She seems very lovely. Oh, guys, yes. It's nearly time for us to wrap this baby up.
It is, Archie. It's been a pleasure.
Ladies, we had a great chat. I've really enjoyed today's show, Marcus. Now, I'm going to be overseas in the next 2 weeks, but we'll just see how we go. If I have time, I'll let you know, Marcus. I'll be in touch. Otherwise, we'll have a little bit of a break. We
might have a break, so that's fine for 2 weeks.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do 2-week break. And we'll come back with more tales. I want to thank the super chatters today. We had Black Cat 997, One Up Kicks, Black Cat 997, Chief Tit, and Chris F. Guys, that is the show for today. He's Marcus Allen, and I'm not.
I'm Marcus Allen, and you're not. God bless you, Archie, and the crowd.
See ya in 2 weeks. Time. See you in 2 weeks. Thank you. Go. Hi, guys. It's Archie Luxury. Guys, I want to talk to you about David SW. David SW, David SW. Guys, if you are in America, if you are looking for a Rolex watch of your dreams, in fact, if you're looking for a contemporary modern wristwatch, I strongly advise you to look at David SW. Guys, don't play the dealer games. Don't bring in chocolates or Krispy Kremes for your dealer hoping to get a Rolex at retail. It's futile.
Please, guys, save your dignity. Keep some pride. Go to David SW. I would highly recommend David SW, David SW. If you're in America and you're looking for a watch, go to David SW, David SW, David SW.